Hi, folks. It's great to see you this morning. I'm John Stierwald. I'm the pastor of St. John's Lutheran Church, and boys and girls just call me Pastor John. In fact, a lot of the kids in my church call me PJ. So PJ, Pastor John, whatever is good for you. I am always glad to be with you. I'm always glad to see you on Wednesdays for Story Time with Pastor John. Moms and dads, just let you know, every week we offer Story Time with Pastor John. We spend a little time together. I'll lead the children in a little song, and then we'll read from a wonderful book. Today we're reading from God's Paintbrush. Also, I want to remind you, moms and dads, come this Sunday morning, the 9:30 service, bring the kids along, because we'll have our puppet friends this Sunday morning at 9:30. Mildred and Barnabas Bunny are going to be joining us, and I think you're going to enjoy them as much as the young kids are. Boys and girls, Barnabas and Mildred, they love to come on Sunday mornings and be with you. Moms and dads, come and join us at the Facebook page for the church, Welcome to St. John's. And you can join us every Sunday morning at 9:30. Also, just a note, our Facebook page is Welcome to St. John's, and our website is stjohnslexington.com. Let's see. Well, boys and girls, before we have a story time, I want to sing a song with you. You might have heard it before, and you might have not heard it before, but I love this song. It tells us how deep and wide God's love is. Let me try to sing this for you. You can sing along if you like. It goes deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Let's sing it backwards. How about that? How do we do that? Well, here we go. Wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep. Wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep. I really like that song because God's love is just like that fountain, deep and wide. Remember that song, and we'll sing that again sometime. Well, we've been reading from a wonderful storybook that is titled God's Paintbrush. I've really enjoyed this book. And let's see what we can discover today. Let me adjust myself and move over this way so we can read together. And I love the pictures and the colors in this storybook. Don't you? In September, a new boy came to school during recess. Nobody picked him for the soccer team at lunch. He ate all by himself. What I remember most about him were his eyes. They looked sad. My teacher had us all do a mural one day. A new boy helped me draw a lion. He was a great artist. Maybe we will be friends. My teacher watched us work together. What I remember most about my teacher were her eyes. They looked happy. See how happy her eyes look? And do you know, boys and girls, a mural, that's a big word, a mural. A mural is a large painting, usually on a wall. See the children, they're painting a mural with colors that are so bright, rainbow blue and orange, a bright maned lion. The mane is this hair on the lion's head. They're all very active. The teacher's eyes they do look so happy. I wonder if God has eyes. And so they must be just like my teachers. They see when people are sad and when people are happy. If you saw the world through God's eyes, what do you think you would see? What do you think God's eyes see in the world? Are God's eyes happy? Are God's eyes sad sometimes when we hurt one another or when we feel hurt? Are God's eyes so happy when we feel happy? I think God is so happy when we're happy. God sees so much. Ask your mom and your father, what are God's eyes see? Sometimes on a bright day, when I close my eyes real tight, I see all kinds of colors, green and purple and red and blue. I think these are just like God's colors. I know God's colors are in me too, and I can paint with God's paintbrush. Aren't those colors bright and beautiful? God sees so much. God sees us all the time. God knows when we're sad and is sad with us. God knows when we're happy and God is happy with us. Because God wants to be with us all the time. Ask your mom and your dad what their favorite memory as a child was of knowing God's love. And talk to your mom and dad about how God is just like a loving parent who always cares for us. We're going to start a new book next time we come together. I've really enjoyed singing with you, and I've enjoyed this book, God's Paintbrush. Moms and dads, you can find it at the library. Well, I'll look forward to seeing you next week, where we'll start a brand new book. Let's sing about God's love that is deep and wide. Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep. Wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep. It's great to see you. I will see you next week. Take care. Remember, God's love is deep and wide.